Okay, guys. Wednesday night. I'm here with Nikoletta Winters. How you doing tonight, ma'am?
I'm awesome. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Long day at work?
Well, no, I just don't sleep a lot. I do these podcasts every night for the past few months, and then I've decided that that's not enough. I need to do a morning radio show with SLE Radio, and that starts 11 o'clock my time because they're in the UK. So,
Holy cow.
mhm.
So you're just a busy person
I'm
and also a vampire, apparently.
apparently, yeah. Totally. Exactly. Exactly. So that's about it. How about you? What are you up to?
Um, just I've been working on music all day and trying to keep my nose clean amidst the pandemic madness. It's just one of those things, you have to kind of swim your way through it and try to carve your own path. I mean, I lost my job in March,
Oh, shit.
so it's just been all music all the time, and it's been going really well.
That's good. That's good as long as you're surviving, right? That's
Hmm.
a lot of people have been losing their jobs, and it's just fucking crazy. That's crazy to me. How many people have lost their jobs?
Yeah, I don't know. I worked for a big
Mm.
corporate company, and just the face of everything has changed. So, in light of that, they had to let a lot of people go, and I was one of the people let go. But it was a blessing in disguise.
Hmm.
I'm
Well, like
here
it's
working on music and enjoying life and just trying to figure out what to do next.
right, right. You're in. Are you in Arizona? Is that right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
What's
you're
what's?
in Saskatchewan?
And you said it right. So you're the first person that I've talked from America that's ever said that right. So thumbs up.
Well, I happen to like Canada. It's one of
Do
those
you? Well,
places.
there you
Yeah.
go. Do you come here ever?
I have been to Toronto before. I've always wanted to go to Manitoba since it's kind of like one of those
Why?
weird places.
Why
I don't know. It just sounds
Manitoba?
cool. It's like just to be like to say I went to Manitoba and people are like, where's Manitoba?
I'm sorry, all you people in Manitoba, but you're not fucking missing much if you don't go there. I'll tell you that. I'm kidding. You should go see it if you want to, but Saskatchewan's right next door.
Okay.
5 hours, 5 hours, I believe, ish. I think we're like 5 hours from Winnipeg.
Wow. Yeah, and I have friends up in Whitehorse as well, and
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's real far.
yeah,
That's
that's up in the polar regions.
that's as far as you get, pretty much. Basically. That's funny. Well, that's good. So yes, you. How long have you been making music for, my friend?
Um, let's see. Well, I started playing music like around 96, and
Okay.
my first band was in 99.
Hmm. Hmm.
I started playing guitar in like 97. I remember my dad brought home a guitar for
Hmm.
me, and my brother got a Nintendo 64. And at the time, I was like,
Damn it.
okay, damn. But then, I started learning how to play like Cradle of Filth and like
Nice.
Emperor and stuff on
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
guitar.
yeah, yeah.
And then I just made a band, and I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. So
That's nice.
after after that, I ended up um, getting in a band. We were signed for a while, and
Okay.
um, you know,
What was the name of that band, if you don't mind
um,
me asking?
it was called Sin Origin, and
Sin or
it was on blackmetal.com records.
okay.
And it was the weird thing about it is we were like right at the tail end of like the beginning of the end of how music used to be,
Uh-huh.
where there wasn't social media in the way that we know now. Like MySpace was a thing back then, but
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
it it was still very much about making phone calls and talking to
Doing the
people.
right, doing the in-person thing and networking through playing shows and things like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a lot different now.
Hmm.
Like especially this year, I've learned that because you could just talk to anyone really and make a connection online without having to even really know them, and
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's been I agree with you 100%. I've met a lot of sweet people on Twitter, especially. Not so much Facebook, because that's I don't know. I have better luck making connections with people on Twitter, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like Facebook, I used to use Facebook, and then around 2015, I was just like, "There's something really up with this." Like the conspiracy theorist in the back of my head was like, "They're like keeping track of people on here," so I had to like get out.
Yeah, you have to, and I don't know, it's pretty insane. Like their algorithms they have, where if your phone's like listening to the shit you're saying, then you see ads on your on your Facebook timeline. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
See?
Like
Thank you. I'm not the fucking only person.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Like I like to play games,
Hmm. Hmm.
and like I'll be like cruising, any news site you see, and all of a sudden there'll be like this ad that'll come up like specifically geared towards the type of game I like to play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's listening to me?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. If you're listening, I also really like money. Thank you.
Yeah, who doesn't?
One time I was talking to my wife, we were talking about like sandwiches or some like literally like sandwiches, and then like an hour later I'm like scrolling through my Facebook and there's a fucking ad for sandwiches.
Oh, get the
It's
fuck
like
out of here.
I'm not even fucking kidding. I was like, are you serious? This is fucked up, man. It's so fucked up. Can't say anything. And she even told me the other day we were talking about we just got we just got a record player a couple months ago, and we've been doing the vinyl thing, and we're talking about getting some Pearl Jam vinyls because we fucking love Pearl Jam. And yeah, sure enough, she got a notice on her Facebook saying like, "Oh, this Pearl Jam album's on sale now." It's like you fucking like through Amazon yet. So it's like Facebook went to Amazon, found this Pearl Jam record, and put it on her alerts type thing.
But
It's
but
really
just think like people there are actually people out there that are not aware of that, and
yeah.
they must be like, this is magic. How did they
Yeah.
know?
Whoa. Yeah. Thanks, universe. That's a sign. I'll buy that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is crazy. But yeah, you brought a very interesting point about how music used to be versus what it is now. And like how as an independent artist now are you kind of navigating this terrain that everybody's chasing the Spotify money that is non-existent. What's your approach that you're taking? I see you got a hell of a Bandcamp presence. Is that kind of your bread and butter? Yeah.
Yes, Spotify is just extra for me. I don't put any energy into it whatsoever. All of my energy goes towards Bandcamp,
Yeah.
and based on I don't really want to talk about sales and stuff, but
No,
based
that's fine.
on that alone, I feel like Bandcamp is much, much better for an independent artist if you
Yes.
put the work in.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get more people into Bandcamp for like buying from Bandcamp, not artists using it, because certainly it's it's there for everybody. I use Bandcamp myself, but um, it's such a more sustainable tool for an artist to use because I think that most Bandcamp takes like was it like $3 or something off a sale for like processing or some shit. It's not much. It's if you sell something for like $10, you're pocketing seven. That's not too
Right.
bad
Yeah,
compared
no.
to compared to the tenth of a penny you make on Spotify per stream.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's the thing. I don't know exactly who's behind Bandcamp.
yeah,
I don't know the details behind it,
yeah,
but based on their business strategies and how they treat the artists there, I tend to think that they're a little more, even if they really don't care, they're a little more conscious of the fact that they need to at least give the illusion of caring. Um, yeah,
yeah,
so like the money is okay
hmm, yeah,
there.
yeah. It's crazy if you think it's like you go on Bandcamp and say you're selling them for $10 or 15 or whatever. You do that, you sell like three albums, you got like $50 there. That's like 30,000 streams on Spotify from selling like three albums on Bandcamp. It's friggin' ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
it
you see
really.
all those guys on Twitter with their little stats. They're like, "Oh, I just got 10,000." It's like, dude, you got not even fucking $10. Like, good for you. You know what I
Well,
mean?
what's even worse about that, and I'm not here to sit and criticize
Mm-mm.
what people think is the right thing to
That's
do, but
that's
here's the thing is you have 10,000 plays on this track and this 10,000 plays on this track. Are there really going to be 10,000 actual butts in the seat for
no,
you
no,
when you decide to go play live somewhere? No,
no,
there's not.
no, no. And the music scene's been declining for, I think, everywhere for a couple of years. Like you said, you were just on the tail end of this whole, ushering in of the new digital age. What was the turnout like for shows that you would play back when
Um,
you were playing? Pretty
Gosh,
decent or
awesome.
dismal? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But now, yeah.
I remember packing. I packed a club, and it wasn't all just my band. Like
Hmm.
we would have like little metal festivals
Hmm.
where
Yep.
like all the black metal bands from the U.S. would just come together, and we would be like, let's put on a hell of a show,
Hmm.
and people would come out. I mean, this one show had to have like 600 people. Like,
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's good.
it's not compared to someone like Taylor Swift or Lady
Hmm.
Gaga. That's nothing, but really to us little people, it's a lot.
Well, yeah, exactly. Especially for a metal band or like an independent metal band, right? That's
Mhm.
huge. That's huge. Yeah. You don't see that now, man. Like I remember back in the day, I used to work in a bar in town here, and it was like one of the biggest venues in the city I'm in. Always for shows and stuff like that. I do security, but we could have at one time, I think in like 2004-ish, you could get 500 kids in this little club for a local band. And it was crazy. Like not a big band, like big in the local scene, but not like I don't know, not like Slayer or some shit. It's just
Sure.
like packing a packing that place when capacity was like 300, just because that was the thing to do. And now, when I before COVID, um, it was like pulling teeth to get 50 people out for a local show. It's crazy. Maybe
Well,
20, maybe 10. It's like fuck.
yeah, I mean, the inherent issue, I think, is that the internet ushers this atmosphere where you literally anything that you want
Hmm.
to see, it's on tap for you. So why would you go to a bar or a club to go
Yeah,
see someone that you could just watch something similar and maybe even better
yeah,
online?
that's true. That's true. Yeah, YouTube's always there. So, that's a good point. These guys have been just going crazy with all the live streams and stuff too, especially with COVID. That's and I commend them, but I don't know if I could personally do it. I don't know if that would be something I'd be interested in doing
Yeah, it's
versus playing actual live. Like that's I don't know. Playing for a webcam, playing for real people.
well, and that's the other thing is the amount of people right now creating music.
It's insane.
Yeah, and that is because the DAW. It is not because they can actually play guitar, they can actually play drums.
Hmm.
It's because of the DAW, and I think the DAW is a good thing. And
Hmm.
I think someone that is more like scientifically minded, out of the box, that has no interest in playing music, it's great for them.
Yeah,
But for me, it's all about feeling, you
yeah,
know. Everything that goes into my DAW, I play.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So how many instruments can you play? I saw you play the flute. Was it the flute I saw
Yep.
on Twitter I've seen and like guitar obviously. That's crazy.
Yeah,
What else you got?
bass,
Bass.
bass. I am serviceable on piano.
Nice.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get to where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
And I have an erhu in the closet.
What is that?
It's like this Chinese string instrument. It's two strings,
Okay.
and it has like snakeskin on it, and it sounds basically like a weeping woman. It's wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. That's fucking neat. An Airhu. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. That's cool. And then which DAW are you using?
Well, I over the years I've bounced around a bunch. I started using FL in
Mhm.
about 2009, 2010, and then I switched over to Logic, and then I went back to FL, and now I'm screwing around in Ableton. So,
Nice. I love Ableton. I
oh
think
yeah,
Ableton's so much fun compared to, I mean, FL's good, but I think I started with Ableton, so it's always like home. I went Ableton Pro Tools. Pro Tools fucked me over. I went back to Ableton, then I tried FL, then back.
why did Pro Tools fuck you over?
Because they did the thing where they like locked up my software based on the like they upgraded their from like 32-bit to 64-bit or some shit like that. And so it was like, well, I already paid like $200 for this shit. Now I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
So thank you. But and then yeah, I remember we had to set up. We had Pro Tools and like it came with an M box, which only you could only use it with Pro Tools. You couldn't use it with nothing else. It was useless with any other DAW, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
fuck, that's so stupid. It's stupid. Now you can go online and buy like this little interface I got was like $70 and it's fine. It's a Behringer. It works like a damn. I can plug in my instruments here if I want to and do my thing. Like, it's just got two little ends. It's fine. That's all you
Yeah.
need. Anybody can do it now. Actually, I was looking online because I was going to tell a friend to buy one. They were asking me. I was like, just buy one of these, and now they're up to like $200 for the same one I bought, and I bought this in like January. Probably because everybody's buying shit for podcasts and recording, right? They got to jack up the price. Stupid.
Oh.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of music do you play? Do you play music?
Yeah, I used to. Well, I still I rap. I'm in Dark Matter Will Flow with
Oh, that's
Jeff.
you.
Let's see.
I have one of your albums.
Which one?
The one with the hand. It's the one right before your
Right.
latest one.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
I
That's cool.
I listened to that. I was listening to that in my kitchen. Hold on.
Nice.
I need to pull this up.
That's sick. That's cool. Yeah, that was I helped with the music on that one.
So yeah,
Jeff.
and your latest one is a self-titled, right? Yeah, Into the
Yeah.
Netherworld is the one
Into the
I.
Netherworld is the one you got. That's awesome. Yeah, that was me and Jeff, and we had some help with from Hikikomori Pact and Zero Point Projects on that as well. So we had a four country thing going on with that. But yeah, that's me and Jeff.
I'm gonna have to check the new one out, but the Exit Dark Spiral song on there, like,
Classic.
all right. So here's the thing I like about what you guys are doing there is it's very like soft, and then like all of a sudden it's just like it just screeches your ears. Like there's this level of violence going on. And like when I heard it the first time, I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
It makes you uncomfortable, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna one moment. I'm gonna reveal my secret right now.
Okay.
I had all of you fans of Dark Matter Will Flow and how Dark Matter Will Flow came about, or at least the sound that you were talking about, is right here. Little 50,
Monotron.
yeah, little $50 Monotron, fits in the palm of my hand, runs on a double A battery, I believe, maybe two triple A's, and it gives you that sound, that crazy fucking thing, that uncomfortable sound.
Yep.
That's it. We called it the Korg saw. And we like wrote I would do little quick intros on each song that Jeff would say, do something like this, do something like that. Any of the weird sounds you hear on there are from that fucking thing.
Well,
That's cool.
that's awesome. See, I didn't even know that was you.
That's
Uh,
me.
and Jeff, Jeff did a podcast a little while ago, or like a show, and
Mhm.
one of my songs was on there.
Nice.
But I definitely know who Jeff is, and
Yeah.
he's fucking great.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
And the funny thing is, on my blog, which is called Love Across Light Years, I actually
Yes.
I actually have a Dark Matter Will Flow review like queued up. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, you let me know. I want to see that.
Okay, I'll let you know when it's posted. But like I liked it so much that I had it all queued up and ready to go.
Oh my God, that's crazy! Thank you so much. That's really awesome. I love it. I love hearing that. We just did it. It was, I don't know, like me and Jeff. I don't even know how we. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm gonna send you a free discount or a free code for the new album when we're done this. I just want to make sure I had them. I'm not being rude. um, I met Jeff on Twitter, obviously, because he's in Finland, but he had Black Distortion, which I was just such a big fan of his work. And I was doing a solo project at the time. I said, if you ever want to do a collaboration sometime, let's see what happens. And then that turned into Dark Matter Will Flow. We ended up doing like 10 songs in 14 days. Just
Wow.
crazy because of the time difference. I was in every night and he was every day working on shit. And then by the time I'd wake up, he'd have a song sent to me and say, okay, now try something for this. It's like, okay. And we just
for how quick you guys did it, like the music's great.
Yeah.
That blows my mind, honestly, because it took me a year and a half to write my last album.
I see. I don't know. Like I said, I had the easiest part because mine was like a 15, 30 second, piece, not a big deal. But Jeff is such a phenom he writes fast. Like he thinks if it takes him 3 hours to write a song, that's too long. He would just hammer shit out. But he's so good. I don't even know.
Wow.
I was lucky to meet up with him and do that because yeah, I love it. I genuinely enjoyed that project. I wanted something completely friggin' different and just wild, and that was it.
Well, and amidst all this synthwave,
Mm-hmm.
it's a breath of fresh air. Quite frankly. I mean, I love synthwave, but
Yeah. Well, we were trying to figure out where we would even fit in, because the next album that you haven't heard yet, which you will hear, has way more vocals on it for me. I'm rapping on the stuff, and then like Jeff does vocals as well, and of course it still has the Dark Matter Will Flow sound, just with more vocals, really. So we'll see. We'll see what you think of that one too.
Have you ever heard of Hard Men Working Hard?
No.
They're these guys from Australia, and like they're kind of like political, which is fine. Like whatever goes your float, as long as it's artistic. To me, I don't care. But they do rapping with like electronica music, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to hear the album. I love the cover art too. It reminds me of Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes. Yes. 100%. That was a friend of Jeff's that drew that for us for free. So any sales we make, we just give back to her because we only put the shit on Bandcamp. We didn't put it anywhere else. I think we even pulled it off of YouTube. We had it on YouTube for the longest time. We just said, fuck it, fuck YouTube. Just do Bandcamp, like you say. Focus on one thing, and we kind of focused everything on that.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me all the time. They're like, "Why aren't you on Instagram, or why don't you have a bigger presence on Facebook?" Like, I don't have enough bandwidth for that shit. Yeah. Like, Twitter's enough.
Twitter's enough, and you can reach so far on Twitter. Like, it is insane what you can do if you. And I think, especially for musicians and media outlets trying to like find people to talk to and everything like that, like that's the place to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Facebook's just all crickets and assholes.
Yeah, I think people share way too much, like personal stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. There's got to be a middle ground, you got to just be like, look, okay, there you go. Super professional. I'm just sending it to you right now. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
You let me know what you think of that when you have a chance to listen to it.
I will. I'll probably listen to it in the kitchen tomorrow when I'm doing dishes.
Nice. It's good dishwashing music. if you like breaking stuff.
Well, that's where I first heard your first album from.
That's hilarious.
Doing dishes. So that's
so funny.
That's my wheelhouse there.
That's great. That's great. So you got? I was trying to. I had this all pulled up on my phone and I lost it.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's awesome.
Virtual intelligence, right? Is that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How did that? That's just you. That is all you, right? Okay. That's really cool. I was just listening to some of it here quickly before I popped on, and you sound like, some of the keys you had on your very first song on. Let me just get the album right. Of course, when I need it to work, it's not working.
That's the way. That's how it usually goes.
You piece of crap. Cyber Thing. You ever listen to Cyber Thing?
Yes.
See, I love Cyber Thing. I hope that's not an insult when your stuff reminds me of Cyber Thing. You have way more instrumentation though, but that's still cool to me. That's what reminded me of right away. I was like, sweet.
Thanks. I love Cyber Thing.
Okay,
Kira is my favorite album from them, and
nice.
Between you and me, and probably whoever else is gonna listen to this, their album's probably gonna be on. I'm gonna do a year-end top albums of the year, and they're definitely gonna be on there with
nice.
Kira.
Awesome. That's great. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Cool. So that having a blog and everything like that is really, really important for artists, especially. What made you want to do that?
I like to write, and I've always had a blog during my life. Like I've always chronicled my personal things, and I was like, you know what, this time I'm just gonna write about what other people do.
Yeah.
And I like music, and I listen to a lot of music, so why the hell not? Why not help the community? Because if I could lift other people up, I lift myself up by being positive. There's enough negativity in the world, and there's enough people talking shit about other people's music, and I don't want to do that.
Why not be nice to someone for once? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that being said, when I write a review, I don't necessarily always like everything that I listen to, but I try to view it from the lens of somebody that it was made for. Like I can identify a piece of music or an album wasn't made for me, and still learn to appreciate it, or appreciate it from an aspect that's outside of myself.
Right. You look at it from probably the best angle, I would think, because there's a lot of people doing reviews. They hear something that, first of all, they don't know fuck all about music. I think some of these assholes, they get it's like, do you even know what music is? So that's good. That's cool. You can find some good in some aspect of it. You're not just there to shit on people. That's kind of the approach I take too.
No, and when there is something that I think needs to be brought to the attention of the artist, I pretty much make that known, because I want people to improve, and I understand how difficult it is to make something like this. It's so time consuming, and it takes a lot of your energy, and I don't feel like there's enough people out there listening to other people's music, and I think it's an important thing to do in order to make the community stronger and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So is your blog strictly for synthwave, or is it any genre?
Any genre. I guess the limitations to that, I would review country, and I would review straight up rap, but it has to be a certain kind. If it's more like D Antwoord, I would be okay. I like Notorious B.I.G. too, so I mean,
That's right.
Life After Death is my freaking favorite album.
Nice. So that's nice. That's
But like country would have to be a little more. Have you ever heard of like the Dead South, like that bluegrass, that like evil bluegrass kind of thing?
they're from my city.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, they're
So
from
much talent in
Saskatchewan.
that band.
Yeah, yeah. There's a ton for sure. They blew up, those boys. They did good. I remember seeing them opening for another local band, and a couple years later, gone. It's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's wild. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like too. I'm not a big country guy, but I'm like you. I love Notorious B.I.G. I love Run the Jewels is one of my favorite hip hop acts right
Oh
now.
my fucking god.
So good. Every album they've put out has been perfect. I don't fucking care. I cannot pick a perfect one, but number four is great. Two is better than one, but one is still good. I don't know. That's hard. They're all good. I love number three too. That's.
I like two.
Yeah, two's great.
I'm a big two. My friend Jeremy actually got me into them. He made me aware of them. He's like, check these people out. You ever hear of LP?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like LP. I like him because he does like this cyberpunk sort of thing. Like
Hmm.
it's fucking cool. It's different. You got all these synthwave people. They're doing cyberpunk, and it makes sense within the context of what they're doing. But here LP is like just fucking spitting shit about you
Yeah,
know drones and shit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Dystopian cyberpunk wasteland, but he's rapping a bit. It's awesome.
yeah, no, it's
It's really
different.
good. And then you put Killer Mike with him. It's a match made in heaven. I love that shit. That's so good, man. That's so good. Well, that's interesting because I work for an independent record label, metal mainly, metal rock, that sort of thing. I'm trying to always find people that fucking do reviews. I can't fucking find anybody that's wanting to do reviews. It's nuts. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I try at the very like when I first started doing it, I would do like one every. I
Hmm.
did that for like 2 months, and then
Burnout though, that's a lot.
I had to take like a week off and try to reevaluate. So since then, I've tried to just do like two. Like this week, I'm gonna do three, but pretty consistently sticking like two a week, and I think it's good. Like
Yeah,
you just got to find your way to do it.
yeah.
And that's so awesome. You dig LP and Run the Jewels. That's awesome.
I love it. Yeah, man, for sure. I'm not. Yeah, I can't even. They have so many. Their lyrics are so good. Like I'm a big lyric guy, and they have a song on the third album called. Is it called Thursday in the Danger Room or something like that? I
I
can't
think
remember, but
so.
I just love that the whole thing, the whole scene they paint with what they're talking about how what do you say to someone who's dying and shit like that. Like that sort of. That's just like fuck.
Yeah,
That's
Kamasi
powerful shit.
Washington's on that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. It's fucking fantastic. I don't know how they're gonna top the fourth one, but I guess they probably didn't think they'd top the second one, so I don't know.
I don't know.
The second one's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, the
Yeah.
second one's. I heard that one before the first one. The first one was good, but the second one is way, way good.
I have a theory about like when you listen to music, like the further in
Hmm.
band's catalog you start off listening to, you appreciate everything before that, and then after that, things just start diminishing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. So you said earlier you started playing Cradle of Filth and Emperor songs. What when you were listening to Cradle of Filth, what was your favorite Cradle of Filth album or song that you
Shit.
could remember?
So funny story is I was in what was my first year in high school in '99, and there was a senior, and he was just an acid head, just complete fucking acid head. His name was Mike,
What
and
up, Mike? Yeah, there you go.
yeah, no, like so I would go and sit by myself in the lunchroom, and then like this dude saw me doing that for like 3 weeks straight, and he's like, I think you need a friend. So he came and sat down next to me. He's like all goth and shit, and he's like, here's all these albums, listen to this stuff. And like I didn't know what to do because here's this person who's like 18 and I'm barely like 14, and he's like, listen to this shit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this and listen to this. And I went home, and he gave me Dusk in Her Embrace and
Nice.
Cruelty and the Beast. And, I listened to him and I was like, this is, I honestly, I did not like music like that much before then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard those and I had like a religious experience. I would like draw and like just paint and all sorts of stuff while I will like listen to that. And that's when I really got influenced to start playing guitar, because my dad bought me the guitar and it's like sitting over in the corner. I'm like, I could play this. Like I learned how to play viola. It's not that, big of a jump. So, here I was playing the Black Goddess Rises and Gothic Romance and all that sort of thing. And, I still like playing those songs.
That's fun. That's awesome. Yeah.
How about you? You like Cradle of Filth?
To a point. I liked Lord Abortion. I thought that was a great song.
Hell yeah.
Her Ghost in the Fog. This is their single or biggest whatever hit probably the one song that made onto MTV for them. And I think Lord Abortion's my favorite one. They had a few off. What the fuck album?
Midian.
It was Thank Midian. You, Jesus. Yeah. That's my favorite album by them.
Oh fuck.
I have a love-hate thing with Danny Filth. I love the music and the symphonics and the showmanship and everything like that, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I should love him more because of his range and the raw talent he has. And sometimes I'm like, it's too much sometimes for me, but I don't know. It's weird. I don't listen to them now. I used to.
Okay.
My tastes have changed a little bit, but I'll always appreciate them somewhat.
Well, were you into metal during the 2000s?
Yeah. Well, new metal or whatever they call it.
It's still metal.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I said too. God damn it. Yeah, like Slipknot and all that shit. The Slipknot self-title came out. That was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Cannibal Corpse, shit like that. Deftones, Korn, fucking all that stuff I was into.
Yeah.
Snot.
Iowa.
That was fantastic. Really for me, for Slipknot, was their first 3 albums were fantastic. Because a lot of people hated Subliminal Verses, but I thought that was a good change, like a good shift for them, because they couldn't do another Iowa, and they couldn't do another self-titled. They had more than that in them, Yeah. They kind of showed that on that. But then after that, I just thought it was downhill for me.
Well, they had a lot of problems, like interpersonal problems in the band, especially around Subliminal Verses, and that. I feel like the fans in general were like, they could feel the band unbuckling a little bit during that, because like they were having some big drug problems during that time.
Well, yeah. You look at Paul. That was crazy when he passed on and everything like that. But
yeah.
And then I think even their drummer Joey at the time was all fucked up, and he had to quit because of drug problems and shit. So it's hard. That stuff will get on top of you for sure, and you can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Think about being a bunch of young guys at the time from Iowa, then launching to superstardom. Like, that's ridiculous. Here's your Ozfest run, guys. Have fun, right? It's like, holy shit. I couldn't even imagine that, being like 20 some years old and just like, you're playing Ozfest, you're doing the Ozfest tour across the states. And to have that relentless alive show, I saw them live only once, but it was fucking brilliant. I saw them, Killswitch Engage, and Unearth. That was a hell of a bill. That was like in another city, 2 hours from me or something, but what a fucking lineup. And Corey Taylor is so good live. So good. I remember when they started, we had floor seats, and then Corey Taylor just kind of stood there for a second. He kind of stopped the music after they were doing the intro, and he's like, "Now just hang on a second." And I was like, "What's he gonna say?" He's like, "What in the fuck are all these people doing in the stands still?" He's like, "Get the fuck down here." And security kind of looked at him. He's like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And they're like, yeah, just good. So security is like all these people that paid for the shitty seats come down to the floor to get in the pit and fuck shit up. It was awesome. It was cool.
Yeah, we lived through that, and like I think looking back now, like people who were like little kids back then, like it was a time.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was probably 20, 20, 21 around then,
Mhm.
like younger, but fuck. That was the shit. Like I just remember getting just hammered drunk before I went to the show, and I just fucking just lost it. It was great. It was good.
Yeah, and the pits, the mosh pits were something else. Especially like Lamb of God.
Oh yeah, saw them too. Yeah, they're great. The Wall of Death. Yeah, that's insane. I went to same city, Saskatoon, 2 hours away from here for Sounds of the Underground, and that was like Jesus Christ. It was Lamb of God, Gore, Strapping Young Lad, Opeth. Um, I think Killswitch Engage was there again. No, maybe no, not Killswitch. But there were just like a ton of freaking like amazing. Like where are you gonna find Opeth, Lamb of God, Strapping Young Lad on the same bill? Like those three alone should have been enough. But then you had Gore. Like, come on, man, that was like the greatest lineup of all time that I ever been to. And it was just like a one day festival thing.
What Opeth album was that around?
That would have been around Ghost Reveries, I believe. Such a
The
good Opeth
best,
album. Yeah,
the
Opeth.
fucking best one.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Blackwater Park, but I
yeah.
really love fucking Ghost Reveries.
Well, Blackwater Park and My Arms, Your Hers is fantastic. No, that's not even what the album's called. That's a song.
No, 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 no. My
Is
Arms,
that
Your
what
Hearse
that? Is that no?
is
Okay.
yeah.
I think that was before Dark. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I love Opeth too. That's good. And Jeff Vicari was a big Opeth fan, so there you go, Jeff.
Yeah, I also like Orchid.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one I heard from them. God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah,
The Twilight Robe, my robe is a twilight, some shit like that. That song on there. Oh.
yeah, yeah. Opeth's so fucking good. Just so many bands are just like virtuosos, eh? You're just like, holy shit! Like, how do you come up with this stuff? How
Well,
do
have you
you?
ever heard Bloodbath? Mikael
Mm-hmm.
Ackerfeld.
That's the same singer from yeah. And I love Bloodbath. My God, that was insane.
Yeah, the bass sound on that
Yeah,
is just it's like it's super deep.
yeah, I couldn't believe it
Yeah.
when I heard that. Like, oh yeah, that's Michael from Opus' new band. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, yeah, that's fucking him, dude. It's like, holy shit. Yeah. And that's like the same thing with Devin Townsend from Strapping Young Lad. Like he's bipolar. So when he's in one mood, he writes music for one band. When he's in another mood, he writes like Strapping Young Lad. So when he's low, he writes a strapping album, which please, Devin Townsend, the world needs you now more than ever.
I
If you just come
know.
back with a Strapping Young Lad album, that would be fantastic.
I know don't get me wrong. I like Devin Townsend, his solo stuff.
Mhm.
Fucking great. You know, the wall of sound with all his
Amazing.
voices.
Yeah.
Awesome. But
Yeah.
a good strapping young lad album.
Just
Mm.
a crushing strapping, especially with because what was their last album? Was it Alien? Was that their last album?
I
No,
don't
they had one after that. Doesn't matter. I celebrate their entire fucking discography. I love that band so much. I've seen them a few
no,
times
it's the
live.
new black. The new
The New
black.
Black was their
Yeah.
last one. That's right. That was like fucking 10 plus years ago.
It was a long ass time ago. It was
That was a good album.
2006.
There you go. 14 years ago. Wow, that sucks.
It's a
Time
lot.
flies.
I
Time.
know. I'm getting old. Gene
Yep.
Hoglan on drums though. Like
Yeah. Monster. Monster. That guy is such a fucking big person. He's like 6'10", just huge. He can just beat the fuck out of him. It's nuts. It's nuts. I saw Strapping, I think I saw them 4 times, played at the bar I worked at. and I wasn't working there yet. I was just there watching, and it was awesome. It was just seeing them in like a 200-person venue is ridiculous. And then the second time they came through, they blew the whole sound system out of that place. The building had to get like a new everything. Like they fried the board, fried all the monitors, everything. Like they blew the fucking electrical panel and like they fucked up huge. I don't know what happened, but as soon as Devin hit his first note, everything went black and like the floodlights came on and shit. They're like, yeah, I don't know what I did. Sorry. So they like went down the street to like another bar and they did like an acoustic set or something.
Holy shit.
They felt so bad, but that venue was fucked up for a while trying to replace all the shit. And then I saw them a couple of years later. They played at the university bar here. There's like a multi-purpose room or whatever, but they came with All That Remains, and All That Remains opened. It was Throwdown, All That Remains, and Strapping Young Lad, which I thought was an odd bill, but Strapping Young Lad was fucking amazing. Just amazing as hell every time. So please, Devin, grow the hair back and just fucking go for it.
Yeah, we want the
maniac.
skullet.
We want the skullet back. It's not a strapping album without the skullet, buddy. Yeah, that's right. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that is a weird lineup. It's kind of like putting Strapping Young Lad and like him on the same.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I like him, but like
Yeah.
I think they belong
It's
separate but together. You know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just they could have put. I don't know. I like Throwdown and All That Remains for sure, but they're I don't know. They're two kind of different houses of metal at that point, I think. But
Yeah.
I don't know. You can get away with it, I guess.
I feel like Avenged Sevenfold sort of took those two schools and combined them very gracefully.
Yeah, now, see, Avenged Sevenfold is a band where I liked their first two albums. What in the fuck was it called? It was like their big one.
What, the self-titled?
There was the self-titled. There was a second one.
It's the self-titled is the one with Waking Fallen.
That's it. Thank you.
Waking the Fallen, yeah, or City of Evil.
Waking the Fallen is the one, and then City of Evil was after that. I didn't care for City of Evil as much as I liked Waking the Fallen, but I had later learned that's because the singer blew his voice out. So there you go. That's why. So all you aspiring metal singers out there, do your practices, do your warm-ups, and then you can live long enough to sing like Randy Blythe still does. There you go. That dude's like fucking 60 years old. He's still jumping off stage and shit. He's a maniac. Just doesn't miss a beat.
It's wild. It's wild what they can do. And I saw them live once during the self-titled tour, and I was fucking blown away.
Yeah, they're crushing. It's crushing. If you want to talk, just it sounds like you're listening to the album. Like, if you ever seen Tool live?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's just like when you watch Tool live, that's like putting a fucking CD on and pressing play. Like, that's how tight they are. It's crazy. Crazy.
He actually, Maynard lives like literally right down the road though.
Does he?
Yeah,
and Jerome. Knock on his door and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah. Hi, Maynard. I'm a fan of your wine, and you're also a crazy bastard. Can I talk to you? That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, he lives here in Arizona. Like up on it's this little town called Jerome, and it's like up a windy hill.
Okay.
And it's so backwater, but it's a nice town, and it seems like a kind of place that he would settle down in. It's very like Addams Family like.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious. Doo-doo-doo-doo. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Nikoletta. Why don't we give you the last 5 minutes? Tell us where we can find you on the wonderful web, where we can support your music, everything like that.
So it's not a band, even though it's called Bandcamp. It's just my project. Is called Virtual Intelligence. You can find that at virtualintelligence.bandcamp.com. My new album, Pain Sink's on there. It's been doing awesome, like awesome.
Great.
And I'm super proud of it. And it has to do a lot with, the last year and like all the surgery stuff I've had to do. You can read all about it there. You can also find me on Twitter at Chain Spell Stun. And Virtual Intelligence's Twitter is also either there at Chain Spell Stun or at Gothic Electric.
Gothic Electric. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Well, I'll make sure I put those in for you.
Yeah, and thanks for the album. I'll send you a code for Pain Sink, and you tell me what you think. And if you don't want to listen to it, awesome.
No, I'll listen to it. I will absolutely listen to it, 100% for sure. I'm not one of those bastards that gets something and doesn't listen to it. I'll listen to it.
Hell yeah, I love it.
And I appreciate that. That made my day, saying that you got the first Dark Matter Will Flow album. That's cool. What a happy coincidence.
Yeah, seriously, if I hated it, I would have told you.
Fair enough.
Like I do think like the screechy, crazy sound is super hot in the mix, but it was so unexpected that I was like, "What is this?" It was super surprising. But yeah, and then last but not least, I also do music reviews at loveacrosslightyears.com. I'm really backed up right now, but if you want to go through my online forum, you can. Or if you want to send me a DM and send me Bandcamp codes, I will be happy to take a look.
Nice. There you go. I recommend it, guys. Check her out. 100%. I sure appreciate your time, my friend. We'll do it again sometime.
Well, thank you, Joe. It was awesome.
It was nice to talk good days of music.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss it so much.
I do.
All right, well, have a good night and rock on. Enjoy your show in the morning.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.